Hi everyone, welcome to orientation for psychology at Flinders University. Psychology sits in the College of Education, Psychology and Social Work. Today, you're going to be hearing from me. My name is Ali Enright, and I'm the undergraduate course coordinator. You're also going to be hearing from Matt Christian, who's our deputy course coordinator, and Georgina Maddox, who's one of our topic coordinators in first year psychology. We also have the pleasure of introducing you to one of our course reps, Sarah McNichol-Hooper, and I'd like to acknowledge our other course rep, Juliet McLeod, who helped us with these slides. Importantly, before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge that we meet today on the lands of the Kaurna people and pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. We're recording this at Bedford Park, which is the lands of the Kaurna people. You might be accessing it from other lands, and of course, we welcome and encourage you to acknowledge those lands as well. Now I'll pass you on to Georgina and Matt, who are going to walk you through some of the nitty-gritties around enrolling and registering in classes.
So one of the first things we're going to ask you to do, as obvious as this may seem, is get you enrolled and registered in your classes. So step one is to enroll in your topics. And in order to do that, you need to log into the student system via your Okta dashboard, and you need to select the My Enrollment tab. After that, you'll agree to a declaration, and then you'll scroll down to see the different topics that are available in your course. You'll need to just simply place a little tick next to the topics that you want to be enrolled in. Importantly, you then need to save your changes. Now in step two, this is where you're going to register for your actual classes. So when you log into the student system again, this time you're going to go to the My Timetable tab. You're going to select the study period that we're in, and then you're going to select change or register for each topic. And you're going to click on the little plus to select a particular class. And again, it's really important that you select save. Now, if you're an online student, please know that you're not necessarily going to have these classes or workshops, as we like to call them, sitting within your timetable. And that's because as online students and having opted into online only study, we know that often that choice is made because you simply can't be at a particular physical location at a particular time. So therefore, you're not going to have sort of compulsory workshops, if you like, where you have to actually rock up at a particular location and a particular time. We also have a new students link. So this is what we call Compass, and it has really important, simple step-by-step information about how you can enroll and register in your classes. So even with the instructions I just gave you, please don't think that if you're still a little bit confused or you're not sure what topics or how to enroll in those classes, please don't think you're just meant to know how to do it. There are people here who can help you. There are physical people you can talk to as well about these things. So if you do need help, please submit a support request via flinders.edu.au and ask or call Flinders Connect. So we've provided the number for you there, and if you're ever unsure, please just reach out to us as well.
Hi guys, it's Matt here. I just want to briefly show you how to navigate your way around the Flinders website and also how to access the things that Georgie was explaining. So first off, when you head to our university website, you want to head to the students option. And here, the first thing you can see is log into Compass. Georgie talks about this a bit later on, and this is a really useful first step, is to just log into the system using the login details you've already been provided with your enrollment details. On this page as well is where you can access all of the key things we're going to talk about today to get started in flow and with your learning here at Flinders University. The key things I want to show you are how to access, one, the orientation information that you need for the coming weeks, but also then going forward how to access your various topics once you've logged on to Compass or within the university website here. Going to Flow, Flinders Learning Online, is our learning management system where you'll access all of your course material and topic information. Here you'll be able to access your student email via Outlook. Really want to reiterate that all of our communication to you guys going forward, now that you have a university login, is through Flow, our course management system, and also through Outlook. We'll be sending you emails, but specifically to your university address, so make sure you start checking that. The student system is going to be really useful starting off. Once you read more about enrolling and getting digging deeper into that, you use the student system to do that. So to summarise, head to the Flinders website, click on the Students button, and then you can access the key information you need here. Look forward to seeing you guys online.
A key part of orientation is really thinking about, what is this place? How do I succeed here, and do I belong here? So along with all the nitty-gritty important information that is useful to get you started, I also think it's really important that we think about what actually is university. And really, it's more than becoming a walking, talking textbook, right? There's not a lot of fun in just learning a bunch of facts. Sure, you might be impressive at some parties and can, spew out a few different ideas. But really, university's more than that boring kind of just talking about facts and knowledge. We really want to encourage you to move beyond those known knowns and push beyond them. So university becomes this innovative place where we are perpetuating science. We're learning about how to think critically. We're challenging people's ideas appropriately, but this is a safe place to do that. So importantly, coming to university is to equip you with skills and competencies so that you can go out into the world and get a job. But it's about becoming an exceptional thinker, a critical thinker, becoming a critical consumer of the evidence that you see, and learning about the real world so that you can go out and become a valued and good member, a good citizen contributing to society. So what does it take to succeed here? I'll draw upon the research of Alf Lizio. So Lizio is a researcher who has done a lot of work in student success, and these are known as the 5 senses of student success. Essentially, we're looking at a sense of capability, a sense of purpose, a sense of resourcefulness, a sense of connectedness, and ultimately of university culture. And Sarah and I are going to talk a bit about how you develop those senses. In a nutshell, the sense of capability is really, do you possess the belief that you can do this? I often find that for a lot of students who are first in family or coming straight out of high school, that can be really hard to establish initially because you're nerve-wracked. It's a new place, a new environment, both online and in face-to-face, new people. And while you might have friends, sometimes there's a lot of self-doubt and uncertainty. So part of our job here is to help you to develop that sense of confidence and capability and show you that you do have what it takes to belong here and be successful here. A sense of purpose is a drive internally. Do you know what you're doing? I wasn't one of those people who came to university and knew exactly what I was doing. It took me a lot of playing in different topics and working out what actually fit with me. But once I found the thing that fit with me, it was like, bang, I got it. I was off to the races. But I actually flunked out of my undergraduate program because I wasn't really interested and I didn't think that I really belonged there. But eventually, look where I'm at now, loving uni and really encouraging other students to find their sense of purpose as well. A sense of resourcefulness is exactly as it sounds. It's about, do you know where to go find information? Do you know where to go find help? Do you know where to find those resources? And lastly, a sense of connectedness, probably the one that I think is one of the most important. In psychology, we're going to learn a lot about human behavior. And human behavior at its core is about connecting to others. We are social creatures. We like to be around other people. We like to feel valued by those other people. We like to be connected. And so we're going to work to encourage you to develop your sense of connectedness as well. And at the core of all of this is a sense of university culture. What's the vibe here at Flinders? Do you like the ducks? Where are you going to fit in this vibe, right? So Sarah and I are now just going to have a chat about how do we develop these senses. So a sense of connection. Sarah, what do you think? What was sort of one of the most important ways for you as a student to develop a sense of connection?
I think one of the most important ways for me personally was actually making the effort to show up and go to class and make sure I actually talk to my lecturer, try and strike up a conversation with the people around me rather than just kind of like sitting there awkwardly in the corner, not knowing what to do and just kind of keeping to myself the whole time. I think stuff like that is really good for being connected with other people.
Yeah, that's awesome that you said that, because it's one of the first things that I always say to students: rock up, come to class. You will never go wrong by coming to class and chatting to people. You can, of course, do all the things that we've got on the slide there. Join a club, chat to people, be brave, feel safe to say, sorry, what was your name again? Because I guarantee you they're thinking the same thing, right? It's going to take a bit of being brave and sort of feeling maybe a bit socially awkward until you kind of get to know the norms of the place, and that's just totally normal. A sense of purpose. So like I said before, that was something that I really struggled with initially, but we do have resources available to you. You can see on the screen there that there's an Okta dashboard. On there, you're going to find a careers hub, and I'm going to explain to you what the Okta dashboard is in a little bit, but essentially it's where you can go to get connected to all your resources. So where you're going to access Flow from, anytime that you log in, you're going to log in to your Okta dashboard, and on there we have a careers hub, and you can go and you can speak with anyone in careers about developing a sense of purpose. You can come talk to me as your course coordinator and say, I'm not really sure if psychology is for me, or psychological sciences is for me, or what actually is this, or how do I move beyond this? Most importantly, don't feel trapped in your degree. Just know that there's always a pathway. Our duty of care here isn't to keep you committed to psychology and retain you purely in our psychological sciences or our psychology topics. Our duty of care here is to support you on your learning journey. So we are committed to making sure that you find the path that's right for you. How did you go with a sense of purpose?
Yeah, well, I found like trying to actually get involved with stuff at the university, like becoming a course representative and taking a lot of volunteering opportunities and seeing what's on offer at the uni helps to really develop your sense of purpose and figure out whether psychology is right for you, or what you should be doing and what you do like doing, what you don't like being involved in, what you want to keep on doing next year and stuff like that.
That's a great idea. In fact, some of our past students often tell us that getting out and doing some volunteering and playing around with some of the concepts that we talk about in class, like trying them out in their volunteering roles, really gives them an opportunity to sort of try on that professional identity. Like, does this fit for me? Is this worth it for me, or does this fit? You know, so that's great advice. Yeah, good one. Sense of capability. So look, it's really quite normal, and I find this is particularly true for psychology students and staff, I'll have you know. So the staff are not unique in this. It's rife with sort of imposter syndrome, which is where you're not really sure if you belong there, or that you have the skills or competencies to do it, or self-doubt, maybe a slight lack of confidence. So know that this is normal. This is really common and normal to experience, and that a lot of what we do in first year psychology is about developing your sense of capability. We give you feedback. You have lots of opportunities to check in with your learning and check in with yourself. How am I going with this? Am I going okay? Check in with your peers. So this is weaved into our curriculum. We check in with you regularly and ask you how you're going and give you opportunities to get some feedback on that. How about you? What do you think about your sense of capability?
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, I found that what made me feel more capable was actually reaching out for help and being able to acknowledge, I'm not sure how to do this. I'm not sure
brilliant.
if I feel capable. Let me ask my lecturer, or let me use the student resource to make me feel more capable and like I actually know what I'm doing. So interestingly enough, the people who are brave enough to admit that they don't feel capable and don't know what they're doing always end up as the people that end up feeling the most capable in the end, because they're able to acknowledge that they don't feel capable and then work on that by figuring out how to then do those things.
That's awesome. I love that. We have, Sarah, you would have been a part of this as well. In first year, we have a first year mentoring program. So you do kind of get the chance to get a bit of help from a third year student as well, and get some feedback. So it's part of our first year curriculum that you get to interact with third year psych students. But I think you're spot on, like saying, actually, I could use some help here. That is a brilliant strategy, and know that you can go to your peers, like you've said, your mentors, and your topic coordinators. We really, really like talking to students, so come and chat with us. Next one is the sense of resourcefulness. And like I said, this is about, knowing where to go find information or help. And so that leads on really beautifully from what you were just saying about, actually asking for help. My sort of top tip for resourcefulness is in every single topic that you have on Flow in psychology, you're going to have a topic information and resources module. And in there, you're going to find all the information that you need to succeed in your topic. So if you have a question about the topic or about where to find help, start with that module. It's the first one on your Flow site, so make sure you check that out. Any other tips for resourcefulness?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Typically, the week before your classes start, all your classes will appear on Canvas. I definitely recommend having a look on there, looking at everything from the course, like if there's any assignments posted, if there's any work that you're supposed to have done leading up to your first class or anything like that. Make sure you have a look there. And also I suggest either during O week or before O week, I suggest coming up to Canvas and having a look at where your classes are, or if you're an online student, I highly suggest having a look around Flow and making sure you actually know what workshops you're supposed to be attending, where you're supposed to access them and stuff like that.
Brilliant. Such a good idea. We have O-Guides as I totally echo everything that Sarah's saying around coming to campus beforehand and finding a lay of the land. We have an app as well.
Lost on Campus?
Yeah, Lost on Campus. Useful. We've got good signage now, finally, something that we fought for long and hard at Bedford Park. So we do have good signage. Come, have a look, find your classes, explore, play, that sort of thing. Lovely. And that leads really beautifully into the university culture. I think the main thing is when you're brand new at coming to uni, regardless of what uni it is, it's about getting to know the place and recognizing that it's okay that that takes time to feel settled, right? So come, explore. I pack picnics all the time and go sit along the lake. We have beautiful ducks. We've got gorgeous grassy areas. I often take my classes out there as well. We'll go do some classes outside on the grass area and just have a sit and engage. We have a beautiful campus. And even if you're in the online space, play as well. Play around with all the resources that you have available to you. What do you think?
Yeah, and there's also the trail across the road from the campus as well that you often take students on, which is also quite lovely.
Yeah, that's the Flinders Gully. It's a great place and you'll get to experience it this year in first year psychology. So look, that feeds really beautifully into this, do I belong here? So we've had to think about what is this place? We've had to think about what does it take to be successful? How do I succeed here? Next, I think a lot of people go through that question of like, do I belong here? And that really comes down to absolutely. Like I said, we are committed to you and your learning journey. So take time. Remember that in first year, it is a lot of kind of sussing out the social norms. And that's a term that we're going to kind of work through and tease apart a bit in first year psych. But it's basically about kind of learning how everyone vibes with each other. It's about seeing like, oh, do I laugh at the topic corners? Do I challenge? Do I put my hand up now? Do I not put my hand up now? And knowing that this is all normal. By the time you get to second, third, fourth year, you're going to feel right at home. And that's my goal. I really love students, regardless of how you're engaging with Flinders, to treat Flinders like home. What's the first thing you do when you get home? Usually kick off your shoes, put on your comfy clothes, and open up the fridge, right? That's what I want you to do here. Explore campus, find the nooks and crannies. And I'm gonna help you do that in our first year curriculum because we're gonna go on walkabouts. We're gonna go looking. We're gonna go finding all those resources. Ultimately, I feel incredibly strongly about successfully supporting your transition into, across, and out of university. I want you to feel supported coming in. I want you to feel supported all the way along. And I want you to feel supported to get to the job that you dream of or that you feel is perfect for you. What about you? What do you think about how to help students feel that sense of belonging?
Yeah, I definitely think like what you were saying about exploring the campus, trying to find your certain spots is good, but also exploring with your friends and seeing where they think is a good spot to sit and stuff like that.
Totally. Find your people.
Yeah.
Find the people that you jive with. Those are going to be the people that you probably study with, engage in group chats and that sort of thing. So I completely agree. Find the people that you get along with and know that really, I'm sure this is true for every degree and every course, but we're such lovely people in psychology. We're all friends friendly and kind and, welcoming and approachable. In fact, for better or worse, our past students tell us when they study at psychology that they know all their teachers. By the end of their degree, they know all of us. You can find us in Social Sciences North building. We often have students kind of walking around the halls and come and have a chat. We really do love our students, so come get to know us and find your people and just have fun. This is a really special time in your life. I certainly remember the various times that I was studying as really lovely. You get to meet people that you end up staying friends with for, the rest of your life in some cases. So enjoy it, savor it, and, don't rush. Take your time enjoying it. Thanks so much, Sarah, for all your tidbits.
That's all good.
They were
Thank
very
you.
helpful.
So Flow is our Flinders Learning Online. This is where all psychology topics are run. So that's irrespective, again, of whether you're at Bedford Park, the city campus, or a purely online student. All psychology topics follow this similar sort of experience in terms of how we've scaffolded your learning. What we have is, first and foremost, you'll come to a home page when you actually access your topic, and you'll see a lovely little welcome video. Usually they are by your topic coordinator, so I'm sure a few of you will see some of me. And then we're going to ask you to please begin on the topic information and resources module. So really, this is the first module that gives you a really, really clear understanding of what your topics are about, what the expectations and the requirements are, and it includes things like not just what the content is, but what sort of assessments you're going to be having as well. So please check your topic resources module carefully. Chances are any questions you have are really well and truly covered there. Each topic as well, you'll notice we have what we call modules. So a module is like one unit, or I like to think of them as little books of core content that you'll be going through. But each of those books have different chapters as well, is how I like to think of it. So if we think of this module as a book, within each module there'll be these sort of different sections. So the sections, or as I like to think of them as chapters, the first one is reflecting on the big picture. This is really just an overview. It's helping you to get orientated towards what this particular module and topic is going to focus on. And we call that reflecting on the big picture. The next one is learning the core content. So this is usually where your pre-recorded lectures and readings and all those sorts of things will be. So this is really like getting that information in. So you know what the topic's going to be about now, you've got an overview, now we're going to learn it. It's also going to be full of all sorts of things like discussion forum posts, things that you need to contribute to, and possibly some quizzes and things like that as well. The next one's applying my learning. Now, applying my learning is really about taking the knowledge that you've just gained from learning the core content and applying it in the big wide world. So it's not enough that we just have the information. Like we said before, we're not walking, talking textbooks. If we were, perhaps we wouldn't need to apply our learning. But in psychology, that's exactly what we do. So applying my learning is going to be all about that. How do I take what I've learnt and how do I now apply it to the big wide world? Extending myself further is additional sort of resources as well. So often there's like the core, what do I need to know, bare minimum. Extending myself further is, okay, now what? Like I've got a grasp of this concept. What more can I do? What more can I read about this particular topic? What other videos or lectures or resources might there be to help me consolidate that learning further? So you will find an extending myself further section within each of those modules. And then the last one is the where to from here. So what we find is that when we're learning something, some things are going to really click for you. Some things are going to become a passion, especially in psychology when we cover so many different topics. So if you find something within a module and you're like, I actually really enjoy this, this is my niche, you will find other resources, other ways to explore this particular topic in the where to from here section. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying before, the where is my online workshop. So first year online students, you don't have required workshops. That doesn't mean that you don't do a lot of study, you do, but the point of online for many students is that you have flexibility. So you've opted to do online only study, we get that, we've heard you, so we're not going to force you to sort of rock up at a particular time for a compulsory workshop. Having said that, there may be some sort of opt-in options as well, because we don't just sort of leave you to your own devices. We still have a lot of places in which we check in with you. So while you will nonetheless need to develop skills and competencies in teamwork and collaboration, you might not always have that scheduled workshop. These are the different sort of topics that we have as well. So you'll see here we've got Psych 1101 and 1102, also known as Psychology 1A and 1B. We have Research Methods 1, which the topic code is 1106, and we have the Psychology of Surviving and Thriving, which is 1108. So these are the topics in first year psychology at Flinders that you'll get to know. I won't take you too much into this. Wi-Fi access, you do have free Wi-Fi while you're around at Flinders. So please make sure that you're connecting to the right network and that you're using your fan. Really, really important that you use your fan for your student email and all those sorts of things as well. We have excellent support staff in IT. If you're having issues, please reach out. We don't know, we'll just assume that everything's fine and you're on your merry way. If things aren't working, please let us know. We can point you in the right direction. Student ID cards are also another really important one. Sometimes they can be really useful for accessing certain areas, also for printing, the library and things like that. And of course, we know that you can often get a student discount out there in the big wide world. Please make sure you get your ID card so that we all know that you are part of the Flinders community and you can start using the really valuable services that come with those cards. And we want you to get familiar with your learning environment as well. So Flinders Learning Online, which we keep calling Flow, and you'll hear that a lot, is our learning management system. So again, we might use the LMS. You're very unlikely to hear that, but occasionally you might hear a teaching staff use that kind of term. So the platform that we use is called Canvas. Now that's something that you also might hear occasionally because some of us still like to refer to it as that. So if you hear Flow, Flinders Learning Online, or Canvas, they're all the same thing. It's just the platform you're using to really get that information from us. So for access, you need to go to flow.flinders.edu.au. Your topics are going to go live 7 days before classes commence. So by the time you're watching this, your topics are live. Now that's not to panic you, it just means you've got a really good week to jump in there, click around, have a look at that topic information and resources module we told you, work out what you do know, and if you don't know things, it's excellent to be able to clarify those things before you actually get started with your studies. Parking, you will need a parking permit. Please make sure that you organise that. The parking permit can be found via the Apply for Parking V permit on the Okta dashboard. We have trains as well, so it takes about 22 minutes to the CBD. We have buses as well, it's about 40 minutes, and we have our excellent Loop bus, which is a free bus service as well that links our different campuses. Scholarships, so this one's really important as well. You don't need to be a top performing student to apply for a scholarship. There are lots of different scholarships for lots of different reasons, for lots of different people from different backgrounds. Please do visit the Flinders scholarships page and you can see we've provided the information for you. Safety, so really important. If you experience or you witness unacceptable behaviour or harassment, please make a confidential report. You can go online and search for safety on campus at Flinders. There's also an email address and there's the phone number as well that we'll provide for you in the slides. Making a report does not necessarily initiate a complaint. It's just the first step to offer your confidential support and information and to work out what you can do next and importantly how you can help to keep everyone safe. Health, counselling and disability service is a really, really important service to know about. So through our services, you can see a doctor or a nurse. You can chat with a counsellor, you can talk with a disability advisor about studying. See if you have a particular health or mental health condition, it's really useful to know that those advisors are there. And you can access self-help resources. The really wonderful thing about this particular service is they understand the unique challenges that can come with studying academically at university, as well as juggling personal life circumstances and how that can be unique for each and every one of us. So please, I would advise If you think that you need that service, or if you just want to reach out and see what it's about, please do. They are an excellent service that we have. Oasis is our Student Wellbeing Centre. So arguably this is going to be perhaps more relevant to those of you who are at our bigger Bedford campus. And we have all of these fantastic initiatives. That isn't to say that we don't have them also available to online students. A lot of the same initiatives may be offered in an online format as well. So please do check out Oasis as well. Importantly, we have an international student service. So we know that it can be hard to find your feet if you're a domestic student, but arguably that can be even more true if you're an international student. So we have the ISS, the International Student Services. They're there to help support you in your studies. And you can meet like-minded people as well through some of their initiatives. Services in general. So Flinders University actively promotes awareness of and respect for the diversity of staff and students. So some of our services include student success and wellbeing advisors, and you would have seen we have some student names in this presentation. We have a prayer room, we have conversation groups as well, we have equal opportunity advisors, a pride network, and a good vibes experiment. So you can find out all about these different initiatives and services that we provide by going to the Students at Flinders website. Finding your way at Flinders. So this is the online orientation of your topic, of which this is going to be one of the first steps as well. It's really important to get familiar with Flinders and how university works, to explore some of the skills that you're going to need. So there are going to be some things that we assume you know how to do, like connect to the Wi-Fi if we give you the instructions. Discover the tricks and the shortcuts to help you study, and find out about the support services at Flinders, and of course to watch the videos. So top tips: visit flow.flinders.edu.au to get started, keep an eye out for ping, connect with new friends and Flinders mates, follow our socials. So we have Hey Flinders and Ask Flinders, very important one to follow. Join Flinders University Student Association, so FUSA, very important one to follow as well. And most importantly, seek help. Reach out to us, your teaching staff, if you need, and we can point you in the right direction, or follow the students' Flinders support that's available to you.